Hey guys, don't forget to hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time I come up with a new video. Hey guys, what's up? Thank you so much for coming back. I'm Arpita and I welcome you back to the Crazy Wisdom. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic, your love life, and we'll be trying to see whether it is possible to check from your horoscope what kind of a romantic life you're going to have. So what are we waiting for? Let's get on and do the same. Put on your thinking caps and your wisdom boots. Let's get on and shoot. Alright, so when we look into a horoscope, there are two important houses there which depict relationships in a person's life. One is the seventh house of the horoscope, which shows our committed relationships, the legal relationships and commitments that we enter into, which primarily shows our marriage, our marriage partnership in our life. And the other one is the fifth house of the horoscope, which, as opposed to the seventh house, isn't about a committed relationship. It is rather about all the romantic, encounters that we would be having in our life, and what kind of partners, we would be getting, and what kind of a relationship we would be having with them, and would it be smooth or would it be turbulent? And the dignity and the strength that this house has in our horoscope kind of tells us about our romantic life. For example, the kind of planets that are placed in the fifth house, the kind of planets that aspect the fifth house, the kind of conjunctions that are there, the degrees the planets are placed in, and the nakshatras that the planets are occupying. And the other most important thing is the strength of the fifth lord and where it is placed and what kind of a dignity it has. That is something that shows us the true flavor of your romantic life. Now, for an example, consider that a planet like Mars is placed in this house. Now, this shows that although you will be very, very passionate towards your romantic life and towards your partners, but there would definitely be a sort of ego and a sort of dominance and a sort of power struggle cropping in between the two of you, because Mars is a soldier. Mars is a warrior and a fighter who does not listen to anybody. And this would result in you having a lot of small tiffs and fights between you two, and you might end up fighting or quarreling or breaking up for a while. So it shows a very impulsive, a very up and down sort of a relationship. Now, if a malefic planet like Saturn, if we take another example, is placed in this house, which is the planet of delays and restrictions, and which is the slowest moving planet of the entire group of planets, then your love life would exactly be the same. You would have relationships, but there will be a lot of delay in having relationships, and there will be a lot of strain and restrictions in the entire bond, and you would feel very, very mature and very, very responsible. There would be a very little amount of fun part in your romantic life, and because Saturn is about limits and restrictions, you would always find that your love life is sort of coming to an end. The relationship would go on for a very long time, but then it would end abruptly, because Saturn restricts your ability to have a long lasting love relationship. And now, if a planet which is completely opposite to Saturn, a planet like Mercury, gets placed here, so you would find yourself to be very, very fun loving and very, very jovial, and just like a kid when it comes to matters of romance and when it comes to matters of love. You would be extremely interactive and communicative with your partner, and you would be completely involved with their day-to-day activities and with their life as a whole, just like a kid is. Very, very curious, very, very interactive, very, very communicative, and kind of very, very into that thing. Now, as another example, if a planet like Ketu is placed here, which is the planet of distance and detachment, and it sort of cuts you off from the house or from the property that it is impacting. So you would feel a sort of a been there, done that sort of an attitude for all the romantic relationships that you encounter, and you would feel a constant detachment from them. The moment you get into one, you would feel that you would have been better in your life without a relationship, and the moment you're not in a relationship, you would feel that it's not a harm in giving it a chance. So you would feel a constant tug of war in your life as far as romantic matters are concerned, and you would always feel a certain dissatisfaction with your choice. It sort of shows a lot of breakups in your life, and in the love sector of your life. And one more very important thing is to check the dignity of the fifth lord. For example, if the fifth lord gets placed in the sixth house, which is the house of quarrels, and which is the house of small little obstructions and small little fights on a day-to-day basis, the small little problems that you face on a daily basis in your life, then you would always find that although you get into romantic relationships if obviously benefic planets are involved, but you still find a lot of quarrels and a lot of fights and a lot of arguments coming between you two as a couple. And in another example, if we consider that the fifth lord is placed in a benefic house like the 11th house, which is the house of gains and which is the house of earnings and network circle, so if all other things are constant and all other things are benefic as well, then you would see that you always gain from your partner, you always gain from your romantic relationships, you always have a benefic alliance whenever you get into one. So this is the entire dynamic of how this entire setup is working. Alright, so with this I put a wrap on today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, guys. With this I leave you with the promise of meeting you again, but don't forget to be crazy and wise until we meet for the next time. I'll see you guys sooner. Bye bye.